5 to 7 minutes each. And in Toastmasters education program, precise guidance for each preparation is given. Today we will be having two speakers, and these two speakers will be introduced by their evaluators. So let's introduce first our first evaluator, Toastmaster Qaiyum, to introduce our first. Toastmaster Qaiyum, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmasters. I can see someone smiling already. Now with that, ladies and gentlemen, today we are listening to, I would say, the most esteemed speakers. Before I share you the objective, allow me to share with you, allow me to find the evaluation form first. Okay, maybe. Okay. Seems like I did not find it first here. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, today our speakers are going to deliver a very special project. And that project is called, oh shoot. Give me a moment. All right, Toastmasters Shabrina are going to deliver a project on understanding your leadership style. And the project will be done in 5 to 7 minutes. And now we want to know what kind of a leadership style that our speaker have. It's quite interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, I will give Toastmasters Shabrina to take the lead. Toastmasters Shabrina, nice leader don't get the corner office. Nice leader don't get the corner office. Toastmasters Shabrina.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Qaiyum, for the introduction. Hello, happy morning, everyone. Well, I'm so glad to finally be able to attend the meeting again and as a speaker. Well, some of you might not know me because I've been absent, I think, for almost 3 months. Why am I missing? Because I have just finished my probation in a new company. So my name is Wulan. I have joined Toastmasters since October last year. So it's almost anniversary of my joining Toastmaster. And tonight's project is about leadership style, which is very closely related with I would like to share you all about my feeling and my experience in my new company. So I would like you all to keep this a secret though, because it's a bit humiliating, or it's a bit, this story is a bit sad for me. Yeah, but now I'm trying to get back to my spirit again. So that's why I'm going to tell you all today my feeling and also my experience. So I was honestly a bit struggling here. I'm so occupied and I have been trying so hard to prove myself in new company. Why? Because I think if I see the surrounding, I am younger and more feminine than most of the other manager, which mostly men in the middle of 40. So, and then there's this one thing that they said to me. They give me feedback that hit me quite hard. Yeah, which is they say I was too nice. Yeah. Well, the problem of being judged as a nice leader is it feels like it is a negative thing. Right? It's like your kindness look like weakness. Your soft tone looks like what you said is not firm. Like, she might be wrong. Really? Are you sure? That is the kind of reaction that I often get here. And my calm and reserved manner looks like I am irresponsive and slow. So this had me thinking very hard, actually. Like, why why in general did a nice leader get labeled like that? Why nice leader cannot be respected and be as successful as the other leaders, as the extrovert and dominant leaders? Because if they see the fact, the data, the results is actually the same. I gave the same result. I have a happy testimonial from my teams. And also, I feel like I can complete all the tasks in the timely manner. Like the deadline is never missed. So why did they say that I'm slow and irresponsive and quite untrustworthy? Well, when I'm thinking about that, I think it's just their perception. So I kept thinking very hard until now. So I'm still learning, like, why can't a leader get a nice leader get that corner office that a dominant and extrovert leader can get, with the great view, with the privilege, and the people like amazed with them? Well, I'm still considering whether I should change my leadership behavior, whether I should follow what they have done, and I should rebrand myself the other way. Or I can just continue being a nice leader. And I hope that with time, yeah, my kindness and empathy can create collaborative and effective team. And my soft tone won't be a problem because I deliver results, and also they can hear my great idea, and my calm nature can actually help solve problem in crisis. So I believe this day will come. However, it might take time, and I might need to have like more effort. I need to have more time and more energy to convince everyone that it is okay to be a nice leader. There's this beautiful quote from the movie Cinderella. You know, Cinderella mother said that whatever you face in life, you just have to have courage and be kind, and things gonna be all right. So the similarity between me and Cinderella is we both slave. I am a corporate slave who needs to get back to hard reality until charming company maybe come and give me my corner office that is deserved by a nice leader. So that's the dream, I guess. And thankfully, I can keep dreaming because this is weekend until ding dong, it's 9 o'clock Monday, and I'm coming back to be a slave. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shabrina. So that was insightful speech. I can actually relate when you said you were a nice leader. So my story will be reserved for my comeback speech later on. But thank you, Toastmaster Shabrina. So let's go now to our second speaker. Our second speaker will be introduced by his evaluator, Toastmaster Reza. Toastmaster Reza, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam Tom. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Fantastic. So fellow Toastmasters, as a citizen of SCBD would have said, happy morning. My name is Reza, and I'll be serving as the evaluator for Toastmaster Andhyka, a fellow Toastmaster whom progress I look up to. So today is going to deliver a project of level 1, writing a speech with purpose. So I don't think this is his first pathway. I'm pretty sure it's maybe around 2 or 3rd pathway. So for those of you who don't know what this project is meant to be, is that to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So for new members, this is actually one of the privilege of yours, because when I first joined in the pathway in 2018, we did not have this project. So if you are a new joiner and if you want to learn how to write a speech, the curriculum has been updated and Toastmaster Andhyka will actually demonstrate how it goes. So the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes and the speech title is Perfect Imperfection. So without further ado, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Andhyka. Perfect Imperfection. Perfect Imperfection, Toastmaster Andhyka.
When I held my son for the first time after he was born, I had no idea what to do with him. Who is this fragile creature? What would I do to him? Luckily, it only happened for a split seconds. And then he looked perfect to me. So I made a promise that my wife and I will be the perfect parents for him. We will lead his life to the best. At least that's what we think. Along the way, we taught him the values of life. One of them is honesty. Son, you have to be honest at any time, to anyone, and anywhere. Please remember that. Sounds great, doesn't it? Until one day, when the three of us tried to look for primary schools, we let him to observe the school, the facilities, the learning activities, so that he could make the decision by himself. Empowering. No, actually, there was another purpose. Because one day, if he got lazy, I will tell him, wait. This is your choice. You have to live up with your decision. So you cannot be lazy. So after going around the school, there was one fine gentleman asked him about what he thought about the school. And my son directly said, I don't like it. It's not clean. There is no air conditioner in the classroom. It's so hot. You know what? My wife and I got stunned. Oh my God. The person who he talked to was none other than the principal of that school, who made the decision of who goes to that school. So we apologized to the principal and got ourselves out of the school. In the car, we managed a pep talk. Son, we need to talk nicely to others, especially about one thing that they have. You know what he said? But Dad, I'm being honest, just like what you told me. I have to be honest to anyone at any time and anywhere. Am I wrong? My wife and I look at each other. It's as if we said, oops, our bad. So the next value of life that we taught is punctuality. To me, punctuality means respecting others. And I want my son to be a respectful person. So son, you have to be on time to any event. So nobody will wait for you and you'll be late. Up until one day, we woke up late in the morning. It was 6:30 and his class started at 7:15. Only 45 minutes to manage all the showering thing, prepare the books, and then driving to the school. Oh, but while my wife and I got panicked, my son was trying to take it easy. And he said, I think there is no class today. And then both of us checked the WhatsApp group of the school and said, there is no announcement about no class today. It's impossible. I will know that. Okay, So within 45 minutes, we managed to take him there. Phew. After we drop off, 10 minutes later, there was a WhatsApp message coming to my phone. Dear parents, I understand that your son is in school right now. We have told your son that there is no class today, and we have also announced it in the WhatsApp group a week ago. Oh, apparently I didn't scroll up higher enough because I found the 1 week before about the announcement. Okay, we got back to his school, and then he was standing like this. I told you, you didn't listen to me. I told you there is no class. My wife and I look at each other as if we said, oops, our bad. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, did you ever feel when you were a kid that parents are always correct? We need to follow them because they are the leaders, although they're wrong. Have you ever felt that? Let me tell you the secret. Because parenting is like assembling furniture without manuals. We parents don't know how to do it, and we have never experienced before that. So it's like a trial and error. I know for our children, there should be no trial and error. But then we didn't try to do it. It's like, remember when you do ride bicycle, you got hit, you hit the electric fall, and then you get gash, but then you don't stop riding the bicycle. It's like the parenting. There is so much imperfection in our efforts. But remember, children do not look for perfect parents. It's only on TV. But what they look for is people who love them, who are vulnerable enough to show that going or creating a mistake is okay. And parents, we always have an ancient rules. There are 2 rules. Rule number 1, parents are always right. Rule number 2, if we are wrong, look at rule number 1. Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andhyka. I want to actually talk to your son. He is indeed awesome when he gives you gives you those looks. Anyway, it is indeed purposeful speech Toastmaster. Thank you. So let's check with our timer, Toastmaster Sakar. Are all the speakers or the 2 speakers eligible to be voted as our favorite speakers for the night?
For Toastmaster Shabrina, 5 minutes for 58 seconds. For Toastmaster Andhyka, 7 minutes 13 seconds. Both are eligible to be voted.
Good job. Thank you, Toastmaster Sakar. So 2 of our speakers are eligible to be voted. Let's call Toastmaster Leonie to give us the link for the ballot test.
Yes, I now send the link at the chat box. Please vote. Back to
So,
you.
so everyone, please cast your votes in the link provided by Toastmaster Leonie in the chat box. Maybe I'll give you 15 more seconds to cast your votes, to exercise your right to vote. Okay, so our next session will be our panel discussion session to be moderated by Toastmaster Hanny. Toastmaster Hanny, would you like to start now?
Okay, Madam Tom.
Okay, the screen is yours, Toastmaster Hanny.
Thank you so much. Happy morning, my fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests. I'm so excited tonight. And let me introduce myself. My name is Hanny Verdianza. Tonight I will lead as a moderator and panel discussion. We have a special session is on how to use Toastmaster leadership in the workplace. I guess for those of you who aren't familiar with Toastmasters, let me explain it a bit. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization for building self-development in leadership and public speaking. When you become a member in Toastmasters, there are so many benefits, especially when taking the Toastmaster Pathway curriculum. In this session, we will discuss more about the Pathway curriculum and how the leadership we learn from it can be implemented in your workplace. So if you're not familiar, I want to know more about how leadership experience in Toastmasters can help you achieve at work. Let's hear from our experts. Let's learn from the best. Let me introduce first our panel speakers. Such honor for me to invite them tonight, and let me, I will welcome in distinguished Toastmaster Hanny Nurzahanira Zaini. Please come to the stage. Where is Toastmaster Team Hanny?
And hello, everyone. It's good to be.
Hello. How are you, Team Hanny?
I am good. It's a good Friday. We're clear and excited for Saturday.
Yes, it's Friday night, and tomorrow we have a holiday in Saturday. And distinguished Toastmaster Hanny is a district director of District 87, and she has joined Toastmasters since 2013. In her 10 years, she has served in almost all club and district leadership positions. And for the second panelist, I will call distinguished Suharjo Setio. Hello, DTM Joe. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's great. Yes, DTM Joe is a District 87 Club Growth Director in Toastmasters International. He joined Toastmasters since 2018 and has served as an executive committee in 3 clubs. Within district leadership, he has become division director, DCP chair, and club extension chair. And for the third panelist speakers, I will call DTM Allen. How are you? Are you there? Hello, DTM.
Hello.
Allen. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Great. Thank you for coming. Yes, DTM Allen is a past District 87 Director 2020 until 2021 in Toastmasters International. He has been a Toastmaster member for over 10 years, served various executive committee and senior district officer roles, and served as district trio from 2018 until 2020. Wow, we have a lot of experience from our panelist speakers tonight. And yes, during that, I mentioned in the beginning that we want to learn more about in the pathway curriculum. There are so many projects. And hello, DTM Hanny. Regarding our discussion about pathway curriculum, that as we know, in Toastmaster program has the pathway curriculum, and there are so many projects. And so I will ask to you, what kind of the pathway that you can recommend it to us to choose, and how is the project that we can choose to build our management skills? What do you think about that, DTM Hanny?
Hi, Hanny, and everyone. So if it were up to me to recommend one pathways that I think will help to elevate your leadership skill, that would be innovative planning. But everyone is a leader. I believe that. And I think every leader has its own specific quality, just like our first speaker said just now, like, should you be a soft leader, or should you be a, like a bit harder of a leader, or should you even be a, extroverted leader? Either way, these leaders perform as a leader. But what will distinguish you from other leaders that you know how to plan? And innovative planning is one of our pathways that I believe will help you to get that specific tools to become a more effective leader. That would be my number one choice. Yeah, back to you, Hanny. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. For yes, there is that you recommend in innovative planning, and there are some of the kind that we know how to create the project and how to give the recommendation to how to practice the lead to all of the members and the leaders. And
yeah, and Hanny, if you don't mind me adding to that a little bit
yes.
more before you move to another panelist.
Yes.
I'm not saying that there are no other path that could be a good path for development of leadership. I myself took out the engaging humor, path, and I love them very much, because I think a good leader also should know how to deliver bad news in a very funny way. And sometimes that kind of path does help, because there are different aspects of leadership. It requires different aspects of skill, requires a lot of other tools. So I would start from innovative planning, but I do believe all the path in the pathways curriculum would be growing in one way or another your leadership skill.
Yeah, nice. For engaging humor, to know how make sense as a humor as a leader. And yes, I guess, yeah, agree. There are so many the pathway, and it depends on we can choose and just from your recommendation. And how about I would ask another that how about DTM Allen? That as we know, as you have a several experienced leadership in Toastmaster Juni, and during your leadership experience to achieve performance in district or club officer, I know how you can motivate your team to speak up and come up with the ideas for project, because when you lead and you can to achieve the performance in your club or a district area. What do you think about that?
Thank you, Hanny, for the question. So the pathways that I took up was dynamic leadership, and I benefited a lot from it, especially on the modules on negotiating for better outcome. I think as a leader, it's common for us to have difference in opinion. We have to accept that you wouldn't be liked by 100% of your members or your peers or even your colleague. And at times you need to make a decision where it may be unpopular. However, it is necessary to take that decision because it moves everyone forward. In order to achieve that, negotiation becomes part of an important skill. Now, negotiation in most of our understanding is it's either you win or someone else would lose. But from what I've learned from negotiation for better outcome, it's more of creating a win-win situation, which I truly believe would help in terms of collaboration. In Toastmasters especially, we are talking about a community where we are working out of a voluntary basis. No one is being paid to do any job. Hence, the motivation itself wouldn't be monetary. It has to be more of an intrinsic value. So understanding how to negotiate for a better outcome is a skill that I truly believe that we can learn and we should learn. And it's something that I've benefited from taking on pathways. Yeah, that's from me, Hanny.
Okay. Yes, agreed. And to negotiate also from as you how to motivate your team to try to negotiate with them, and it's quite you can you can build your connection to your team and to achieve that. And also that from the implemented that you're taking the pathway and to your team, especially in to lead them. And how about DTM Joe, as a leader, when do you think should we delegate the task or to team, or when do we take the control? What do you think about that? Regarding you
when
as a leader experience.
Maybe I want to share this a little bit. When I was VP, the first time I was a VP education in Colonial Toastmasters Club. I joined in 2018 and I was a VP in 2019. So it's very abrupt, a new member, and then suddenly I was a VP. In this new club, I was thinking that I want to do a lot of changes. I was thinking like, okay, this is my club now. I'm VP. I'm second in control. I can do whatever I want. So I decided to change a lot of things. And during that year, I learned that that is not the wisest thing to do, to take things in our own hands, take all the matter in our own hands. That's a very nasty thing. That's not very wise. But as I grow in Toastmaster, I learned that I need to delegate. I cannot do everything by myself. And that is the challenge, and that is the beauty of Toastmasters. Even though I make mistakes, I was, but I wasn't really confronted, and I wasn't really having punished to do that. But I learned through my experience that, hey, Joe, you need to delegate. You need to share your load to other people. If not, I learned that if I didn't delegate, turned out that when I become a president next term, all of the club officers will not be able to do their task since I took up everything, So gradually, as a VP, I try to delegate. I learn to load off my load to some of the club officers to learn about the beauty of a successor. So I learn it. I give it back. I ask my team to work together, and at the end, yes, I learned that delegation is very, very, very important.
Yes. So you try to delegate, and when you already to see the capable from your team, so you when you stay in the up to the level, so you try to you delegate, and so the team that will be follow your task, any kind of task. And how about DTM Hanny? Back to the question that you already take the pathways and complement the project, and there are kind of the project that we built, example like if level 4 or level 5, and during you create those project, I mean like a big something, or how you can face with a lot of people, a lot of team, and because we see that many people have a different character, and so how you can to face with people with the different characters. So during your leadership skills or leadership, you can face them.
Okay, so thank you for the question. Well, things that I learned from Pathway, I will most likely use them in real life. And if you're talking about dealing with people outside, it does help in a way that, for example, one of the level 4 and level 5 require you to work with other leaders. Or if you don't have one around you, you have to nurture one until they become a leader, like a leader on India on rights. So that gives me the opportunity to either learn their leadership style first and then apply on how we could work with each other, or get them to discover their leadership style first, and then find ways that them and you can work with each other in a way that it will create effectiveness in terms of working. But let me share like someone else's story rather than mine into this. The one person I know who is very good at applying what he learns in pathways is actually my own husband. I'm saying this because I hear his stories when he comes back from work, when we discuss about things. So he told me this. He said, thank goodness that I actually managed to go through like certain leadership experience in Toastmasters throughout all this journey, because in the corporate sector that he was in, he has to deal with clients. Now, these clients, they are either from India, Vietnam, China, from the United States, different type of style of people. And he said that in order for him to get the outcome the company wants, as he is in charge of, if he were to sign that document, the company will lose billions of dollars. So in order for him to ensure that the company don't lose billions of dollars, is that he need to approach in a way that the other person will feel most comfortable with him. So he says that if I were to deal with a group of people from India, then I have to assert a certain dominance because they got used to that. That is their style of work. In the corporate sector in India, they are very feisty. But on the other hand, when he has to deal with someone from the USA, it is more towards, hey, how you doing? Let's do this over food. Perhaps there are coffee in the meeting room, because the Americans, they are a lot more human in human touch kind of way. It means that I talk to you about myself first. We establish certain level of bridge. Only then we go into business. At least this is what he noticed. And all of this, he was able to detect and identify because of one of the pathways levels that he uses. And I think that was very successful, because now those clients will on purpose tell his boss, we only want this guy to deal with us. That's how you know it's successful. Back to you.
Thank you so much, DTM Hanny. And I guess we already have a lot of sharing from our panelist speakers. So I will open to the questions. For I guess there are so many. Does anyone to ask the question in the floor? Please raise your hand. Okay, DTM Gatot.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Hanny, Joe, and Alan. It's really good to see you again. So my question is, it's for all of you. Let's say that you have 100% in a day. So I know that you manage not only Toastmasters, but also your personal life and also your work. So how do you manage that percentage can be equally distributed to those three things? And how do you implement that leadership you've learned in Toastmasters to make sure things running well? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, DTM Gatot. So yes, how to implement well? I guess let me hear from our DTM Joe first. What do you think about DTM Gatot question?
Implement what? DTM Gatot. It's quite, I would say that what I learned in Toastmasters, the reason why I still stay in Toastmasters is because I can understand now I can see myself much clearly, that my flaw as a leader, because as you might know that I own a restaurant, right? I own a restaurant, and in my restaurant, I have around 30 to 40 employees who work under me. And to handle with such a lot of people, sometimes it takes a lot of, human skills, how to talk, how to manage, and how to juggle from my work and then a Toastmasters. Also, that's another thing. So how to implement, Toastmaster, can I have a confirmation? How to implement what? I'm so sorry.
A leadership you have earned in Toastmasters to make sure
Yes.
that all
Yeah.
those things in your life is running
Yes.
smoothly.
Okay. So just to implement what I learned, right? So first of all, it's a communication skills. Okay. I deal not only with employees, I also deal with customers. Sometimes if you can read on my Facebook, you can see how many customers that really, really funny. I know some jokes I put up. But deep down inside my heart, sometimes I know one of the things is emotional intelligence. I learned that in the Toastmaster pathways, right? One of the modules is emotional intelligence. I just realized that you can control my emotions. So what is inside my heart and what I speak out to the customer or to my employee, I can control it. I can understand that that is an emotion that I don't want to interfere with my, what comes out from my mouth. I can control that. That's called emotional intelligence. I implemented a lot, in my work job. Secondly, my management skills. Like I said, the delegation part. I delegate. Nowadays, I don't do a lot of things by myself anymore. I can see that what is the strength of my employees, what are their weaknesses, and I can delegate. Okay, this is the right job for the right person. And the third part is. And the third thing is, like I said earlier, communication. Now I know how to talk nicely. In Toastmaster, it's a volunteer. We have to ask people. You have to ask people to not to talk, okay, nicely because they are volunteer. That's how I also talk to my staff, even though they got paid, but I learned how to talk to them nicely in a very good manner. That's what I learned in Toastmaster, and that's how I implement it in my day job. I hope that answer your question.
Does that answer your question, Ditim Gatot? Or do you have more?
Yes. I think if it's possible, I also want to hear from the other two panelists the same question.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, how about DTM Hanny? What's your thought about the implements your experience in Toastmaster into your life?
Yeah, so for me, I don't really separate, Toastmasters and life. Joe and I has an internal joke, like we 100% plus another 100% in Toastmasters. No, not really. But we're talking about in making sure that Toastmasters is a part of your life. At least for me, that works, because in my head, if I were to compartmentalize like a half for Toastmasters and I only will practice it in Toastmasters, it does not work effectively for me. To me, it's more like 100% I put in my entire day is what I can apply that I've already learned, which also includes things in Toastmasters. And I think that works best, especially when you're at work, especially when you're dealing with people, or especially in situations where requires you to solve certain kind of leadership problem. So in my mindset, it's more towards, I bump into a problem today, and the problem is that my client you really want to squeeze you out, like a lowest amount of money, but the biggest best of service. That's the typical thing. Before Toastmasters, Hanny will say, I'm gonna give in to you. But after Toastmasters, or currently in Toastmasters, I have a more clearer picture on what do I actually want to get at the end of the day. I know my value over there. I know because I can solve this particular problem or that person's particular problem and his organization entire problem within a certain stipulated time, that person can end up earning so much more, you see. So I can see that because I'm a Toastmaster. And it requires that certain kind of experience. So I won't differentiate Toastmasters and my real life. I actually put them together. I apply them in certain situations. Let me give another example. And this is at home. Now at home, for your information, I have a little girl which is growing up right now, and she needs my time for most of it. But I do have time for work and other things in my life that I require to plan. So what I do is I insert my leadership style in Toastmasters and tell my husband, okay, husband, you and I is a team. Today I'm the Didi. Tomorrow you are the, we do that because today you support me, tomorrow I support you, kind of thing. I don't separate them from my life because I think it works best within my life scope. There we go. I hope that give you some insight, Gatot.
Thank you, DTM Hanny, for sharing. And how about we can hear another side from DTM Allen? What do you think about your implemented the Toastmaster in leadership?
Okay, I like this question, and I admire what Joe and Hanny have mentioned as well. Personally, I wouldn't say that I am as passionate as both of them at this moment right now, because you can say that they're totally dedicated their time. Hanny has a own command center at home as well. I was working out of a smaller space. But let me share with you a little bit from a more practical point of view. I think it is okay to not see Toastmasters as the only thing that you have. But you got to ask yourself this one question. What do you want to gain out of Toastmasters? So if today my goal is very clear that I wanted to improve my leadership skill, then I would have to set a clear intention that when I go and visit my Toastmasters club, or when I take up my role in my weekly meeting, or when I take up a role in a club or district setting, I'll do my best. And I would learn the skills that is needed on how I should perform as a leader in a Toastmasters setting. Now, once I've done that, my job is to think, how could I apply this skill set in my everyday life? So you don't need to focus on everything, because there's so much thing that we can learn from Toastmasters. So understanding what you want to gain out of it, have a clear intention that every single time you go to Toastmasters is like going back to school, right? Learning and receiving feedback. And then you try to practice it in real life. There's a huge difference. In Toastmasters, we give a lot of positive feedback. We give a lot of constructive feedback. And we're so used to receiving a lot of this constructive feedback, right? But sometimes when you go back to work, you realize that people around you might not be so kind. They might be more upfront. So you can't expect people to treat you the same in both in your personal life and in Toastmasters settings as well. So what I would encourage everyone to do is to really ask yourself what you want to gain. When you come in here, how you want to learn it. And when you are outside of this setting, how you can apply it. So if you're able to do it that way, you won't be feeling so much burnout of, oh, I must attach 30% of my time for Toastmasters, 50% of my time for this and that, because, you know, time is just time. We only have 24 hours. And if you fix to a number of time, I think you'll be stressing yourself out a little bit. So that's my current situation at this moment right now. So with a clear intention coming in, what I want to gain, what I want to learn, and try to apply it one thing at a time. Over time, we'll get better at it. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Allen. Yes, we learned from a different panels about the implementation and this TM Joe in emotional intelligence to the teams and how to delegate, and how to the DTM Hanny in different certain situation. I mean, how you can implement not only in Toastmaster but both of, and how DTM Allen give the provide the feedback in constructive feedback into real life. So I would ask again both of you three, and perhaps I guess is the best that audience want to know regarding from your thought. Can you share and give advice to audience members who are currently in leadership roles or preparing to be a leader in the future? What do you think about your advice? DTM Joe, DTM Hanny, and DTM Allen. First, DTM Joe. Can you give the advice and share to the audience who are currently in leadership roles or preparing to be a leader in the future?
What I say is, actually, I never planned to become a leader. It just happened. And the reason I joined, my home club is Bologna Toastmasters, right? So, and if you realize, if you know that in Bologna Toastmasters Club, we have a lot of members that and coming out from Bologna, we have past district governor Sutarno, past district director, Liana Kwan, and a lot of leaders coming out from that club. I didn't know that, I didn't know that. But when I joined Bologna Toastmasters Club first time, I felt that, hey, this club is real, have this kind of feeling. I don't know what it is. So I just joined Bologna Toastmasters Club. I didn't even browse other club. And then suddenly just feel that I want to contribute in this club. I didn't say that I want to become a club president. At that time, I didn't even think about it. I just think I want to do something for this club. And gradually, I take up roles. I push myself to become SAA in the beginning. I tidy up the room. Seriously, I tidy up the room. I prepare food. I look for the rooms, and from then on, suddenly it just catching up. I'm catching up. I feel like this is very nice, serving people. Try to do my best, making my club looks good. Now, when people comes into my club and they say, "Wow," even they don't know who made it, but the wow is a reward for me, and I think that is enough reward for me as a leader. And that's, I think, is not the actual thing, but somehow that makes me feel like I want to serve better, take up some more roles and leadership roles. And next thing I know, suddenly they voted me as a VPE, and suddenly I'm inside an exco role. I'm become one of the leader in the club. And the next thing, I become club president. Next, I become a division director. It just go up and up. It's not because I want to be, but somehow I just want to serve, and suddenly I'm here. Look at myself as a CGD. I don't even know how I get here. So, Toastmaster, it's just nice that you don't have to push, you don't have to like a corporate ladder. But the most thing is, as a leader, I learned the most essential part is just to serve, be ready, and whatever job there is, just take it. And the next thing you know, when you do things by heart, you'll learn leadership. It's by serving. That's what I think. That's what I learned. Prepare myself as a leader.
Wow, nice. you didn't realize to how you get there, and then you just follow, and then just serving, and until you come in with the CGD in district. And how about DTM Hanny? What's your thought and give advice to for current leadership or the future?
Okay, so anyone can helm the sea, when it's calm. Because when things are calm, it just runs on its own. But the thing about leadership is that it is tested when you finally have something to solve, or when you are required to make things a lot more effective. In other words, leadership and learning, they are indispensable to one another. They are actually interrelated. That's why we are in Toastmasters. We are in Toastmasters because we learn leadership, we improve here, and then we use them outside within our life scope, within like literally any other scope there is. They are, the word that I'm thinking right now is trust the process. Because it may seem like, okay, this is difficult, this is a little bit too much, or just like what Ellen said, this is so tired, I'm probably done with this for now. Trust the process, because when it comes to being a leader, it is all about going through it. And you are allowed to feel tired, you are allowed to feel exhausted, but don't stop. Just keep going, because it's not a race, it's a long haul marathon. Continue doing it until you get used to it. That's why leadership and learning are so much indispensable to one another. So good luck, everyone. Happy leading. Back to you, Hanny.
Thank you, DTM Hanny. And how about we can another talk from DTM Ellen? What do you think? Give the advice to current leadership and or the future leader.
I think most of the good points have been covered already. Let me try to come up with something more. Advice to, let's put it this way, advice to current leadership would be, I wouldn't say advice, but I would say thank you to those who are actually in the position at this moment right now. If there's anything that I would say to those of you who are currently in leadership position is be in the moment, just enjoy the ride that you have at this moment right now, because by the time we realize it, 1 year will be gone. And if you don't really enjoy and be in that moment, you probably will look back and feel that, I could have done something a little bit more and all this. So be in that moment and appreciate what you have at this position right now. For those who would be stepping up to become a leader, my advice is, in contrast to what they say, right? Say yes first and then think about it later. I would say think twice before you say yes. And the reason for that is not to discourage you from taking a leadership role. But coming from experience, I feel that if every single time you just say yes, 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 and you think about it later, it could also means that you might not understand what you're getting yourself into. And that may lead to a faster burnout if you're not sure. So it's good when opportunity comes, say yes, because there's a huge learning opportunity. But also at the same time, tell yourself that when and eventually I get there, I can remember my route. The biggest growth from Toastmasters comes from the weekly or bi-weekly meeting that you actually attended. That's where the biggest growth comes from. Stepping up onto a leadership position is like a graduation. It's like a showcase of how you utilize the skill that you've learned during those meetings and you apply it in situation. So again, those of you who are currently in a leadership position, thank you so much for taking up the role. Those of you who are going to take it up the role later on, think twice. But when you say yes, give it all your best, because I think that's where huge learning comes from. And I hope more of you will be taking up leadership role, because eventually all of us would want these organizations to move forward and to be led by more and more competent leaders as well. So thank you very much in advance. And I would like to hand the control back to you.
Wow, such a great, such is a great advice to both of you, that I can summarize that that the implement to in Toastmasters during the taking the pathway, example, the innovative planning, and also you current how to know the sense of humor as a leader, and regarding that the theme just said, emotional intelligence and taking delegate. This is the part of important, that how you now take your control the emotion and how you convince with your theme. And also from the theme Alin said yes, and then follow your heart and continue it. And I guess we already have enough time. And also, if you have another question, please send to me, and I will send back to both of the three panelists, and we can share perhaps in the later. You can text to me in the chat box, so I will send the next question for the panel speakers. I guess that's all from our session. And but wait a minute, we have a special for you to certificate, and we can take a picture together. How about Toastmaster Leonie? Are the certificate is ready?
Yes, the certificate is ready, and Tom will announce.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster Hanny. So I would like to call our president of SCBD Toastmasters Club to present the certificate of appreciation. Toastmaster Andhyka, the screen is yours. You're unmuted.
You
sorry.
are muted. Yes. No, you.
All right.
Okay.
On behalf of SCBD Toastmasters Club, I would like to extend my gratitude for our District Director 87, Distinguished Toastmaster Hanny, and also our Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Joe, and also our past District Director 87, Distinguished Toastmaster Ellen. So I would like to take a picture first with DTM Joe. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3. Good smile, and it's contagious. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Joe. Now, let's go to the next speaker. Distinguished Toastmaster Hanny. All right, give me your best smile. 3, 2, 1. Did we get the picture? Yes, all right.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And then the next panelist is the TM Ellen. All right. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Press, for already take the picture to each the panelists. And also from our decision, hope we can learn
Hi, Toastmaster Hanny. It seems that your internet is lagging. And definitely we learned a lot from this session, correct, everyone? Yes, we did. But Toastmaster Hanny is not here, Toastmaster Leonie. Okay, there. So I believe that everyone learned a lot from the panel discussion today. So actually, 4 words: real, practical, inspiring, relatable. I so need it now. It's like that. So so everyone, let's ring them with virtual clap reactions. It was really awesome panel discussion that we had today. So thank you, Toastmaster Hanny, if you're here. Thank you for leading us or moderating the panel discussion. Thank you. Now, let's proceed to our third session. So our third session will be led by our Vice President of Education, Toastmaster Donna, which is the table topic session. Toastmaster Donna. Hi, happy morning.
Good morning.
I like the smile.
Hi. Oh, thank you so much. You look beautiful. Teachers around me. Hi.
And happy morning. The screen is yours. Toastmaster Donna.
Okay, that's great. So happy morning, everyone. My name is Donna, and I will serve as your table topic master tonight. So tonight we have learned so much from our district leaders. Thank you so much to Lady Hanny, CGD Joe, and PD Allen for being here tonight and giving us so much about their experiences. So I have quite a few questions for you. And I'll start with a familiar face. Watch out. I'm about to call our grammarian. Are you here?
Oh, yes.
Hello. Please show yourself.
All right. Okay.
Hello. It's been a minute. How you been?
I don't know how to answer. I think it's just ordinary life lah.
Oh, all right then. I'm gonna give you a secret question.
Oh, what is it?
Your question is leadership something you're born with? Is leadership something you're born with? Time's yours.
I don't think so. Leadership is not something that we are born with. I noted a beautiful answer from distinguished Toastmaster Joe when he said that I did not plan to be leader, but it just happened. But I think it doesn't happen just like a coincidence, because actually the life has opened the paths for you, and it's on you whether you take the opportunity or not. I don't think that those path is those paths could be taken for granted because maybe we initiated something, then those doors are opened, and it's on us whether to go through from one of those doors and go through the next doors, the next stops, the next hurdles, the next challenges. So leadership is not something that you are born with, but it's something that you initiated in a way, and then when you are given the paths, you are taking that way. And also reflecting from what Distinguished Toastmaster Hanny said, leadership is something that can be tiring, but just enjoy it. You can feel tired, you are allowed to feel exhausted, but do not stop. I'm stealing your quote, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Hanny. And yeah, that's my opinion. Back to you, Toastmaster Donna.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Uyun. That was such a poignant answer from you. So let's give a round of applause. Remember, leadership is not something you're born with, but something you can definitely cultivate right here in Toastmasters. Next up, I would like to call a guest. I would like to call Mr. Takashi. Are you here to speak with us tonight?
Yes.
Hi, come on up.
Okay.
Okay, hello, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Fine.
Okay, great.
But sorry, it's the first time for me to attend this meeting, but maybe I cannot speak well. Is it okay?
Oh, that's totally fine. We're all learning here. It's the right place for you not to be. Okay, so my question for you is, how do you handle disagreements within your team or with colleagues at work?
About getting agreement with colleagues and teams.
Yes, you have 1 minute to 2.5 minutes to answer.
Okay. Certainly, it's very difficult to correct all agreement with teams and colleagues. But for me, it's very important to care about what is the agreement opinion and disagreement opinion. So for me, it should be gather all agreement and disagreement point together and to how is it okay to the best agreement point and how to care about disagreement point. So this is my opinion.
You still have a bit
okay.
of time? Do you want to explain us a bit more? Maybe you have a story for us to tell?
Okay. About when I was in Japan to work as a system engineer to progress about what customers should talk about, the next progress to which way we should go. For example, there are two a side opinion that is to emphasize about our service, but some people said it should be changed to other vendor service. So my opinion is about we should continue to change the other vendor service. It's because it's cheaper than to continue our service our service. So to correct agreed side point and disagreed side point, I will gather to all points to consult with the customer about why we should change to other vendor. So before that, I have to care about agreement point and data agreement point. It make sense? So it's very difficult to explain.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much for your time, Guest Takashi. We'd
Okay.
love to hear more from you soon.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Hearing everybody's point of view, definitely a very accommodative and listening leader we have among us.
Yes.
Okay. Next up, I would love to call one of our guests. Guest Linda, are you here? Okay, if she isn't, I'd like to call our panel timer, Toastmaster Helena. Hi.
Hi.
Looking gorgeous tonight.
Thank you so much, you too.
Oh, okay. So my question for you tonight is, what is the hardest decision that you've ever taken as a leader? What is the hardest decision that you've ever taken as a leader? Toastmaster Helena, 1 to 2 minutes. Time's yours.
I think the hardest decision that I ever made when I lead my team is I have to cut off one member of the team who wasn't productive enough. I mean, with the productive is when I gave him a task or an assignment, he will say yes to it, but he didn't really ask if he doesn't understand. And I keep telling him that it's okay for you to ask things that you don't understand. And it's also much better for you to ask rather than doing the job with quite a long time, but you get it wrong. So the most hardest thing is I need to cut him off from my team, because I think it's also not going to be a good example for other team if I just let him to be in my team. So I think as a leader, that is the hardest thing to do, to make a decision to cut off one of my team. So back to you, TM Donna.
That is hard. Thank you for sharing about that, Toastmaster Helena. Because when we're being faced with a lack of communication, it doesn't stop just us, it stops everyone in the team. So congratulations on getting over that hurdle, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and thank you for sharing with us. So that will be the end of our table topic session. It's short and sweet, just like me. I will give the control back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Melanie.
Thank you, Toastmaster Donna. Let's call Toastmaster Sekar to tell us if all our table topic speakers are eligible to be voted as our favorite table topic speakers. Toastmaster
Okay.
Sekar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. For Toastmaster Uyun is 1 minute and 56 seconds. Guest Kasi 2 minutes 39 seconds. Toastmaster Helena 1 minute 36 seconds. So only guest Takashi is not eligible to be voted. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sekar. I believe that Toastmaster Leonie has already shared with us the voting link for favorite table topic speakers. So I'll give you some seconds to cast your votes. So only Toastmaster Uyun and Toastmaster Helena are eligible to be voted. There, Toastmaster Hanny, that we already voted. Okay, for those who are already done voting, so please prepare your cameras, prepare your smiles. We will be having our photo session. So for those whose cameras are off, can you please turn it on so that we can see your beautiful smile this lovely evening? Okay, I see familiar faces. Take care, Toastmaster Shabrina. Just smile, it's okay. So let me ask the help of Toastmaster Hanny or Toastmaster Andhyka for the photo session.
I can.
Cool.
Okay.
You? Hanny?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, everyone, please turn on the camera so we can see the beautiful face to all of you. Please, guys Amel, guys Rohi, Toastmaster Qaiyum, and DTM Gatot, please open your camera and I will count 1 until 3 and say cheers. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Wait. Okay.
It's hard to hold
Wait.
now.
Okay. Stay again. Wait a minute. And okay, I will count again. The second picture, please say ah. Okay. Say ah. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you
okay,
so
there.
much for the picture.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hanny. Okay, so now let's proceed to the heart of our Toastmaster meeting, which is the evaluation session. So let's call our general evaluator, Toastmaster Reza, to lead us for the evaluation session. Toastmaster Reza, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you so much for Toastmaster Melanie. It's very interesting. We can get inspired from the panel discussion and also for the prepared speech. We have some evaluator for the prepared speech and also for the panel discussion. And then we move on to our first evaluator is Toastmaster Qaiyum, who will be evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Shabrina. And then, hello Toastmaster Qaiyum, are you there? Please share with us about your evaluation for Toastmaster Shabrina. The screen is yours.
You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let it go. My friends, that's how I imagine the story of our speakers today, Toastmaster Shabrina. It's very hard and it's very challenging to be a very nice leaders. Now, I would like to bring to all of you what I like on her speech today. First thing first, Toastmaster Shabrina managed to catch your attention, my attention as an audience, by sharing her personal stories. Now, I would like to check with all of the audience. If you ever encounter the same problem or in the same challenges, type the letter S in the chat box down below. And with that, come into the second thing that I like on her speech today. She passed the project by sharing her leadership style, and which are, I would say in general, the kind leader, the good leader. Although the purpose are halfly met, it come into the third, or I would say the strength that she have, which structurized speeches. She organizes speech, having an opening, having a content, and back to a conclusions or closing, and give you some key takeaway messages, what could be brought back today from her experience. And that's where we all agree upon one biggest room in the world, room of improvement. Toastmaster Shabrina, my fellow friends, I would really like to bring you into the another step, one step further on delivering a great speeches. First thing first, what we can do is today you're sitting down speaker, tomorrow you are the stand-up leaders. So while you're standing up, you can play around with the stage that you have. You can move around for your first point on the left, move around on the right for your second point, and back to the center for your closing messages and give the key takeaway that you have today. And that's where when you move around, people can understand, oh, this is the first point, this is the second point, and this is the conclusion. And go into the next evaluations that I have or improvement that I could bring to you is that infuse some humor in your speech. And I can see actually some of the audience want to laugh, but at the same time, they can't laugh because it's a very personal story to you. And that's where I see that you may have a comedians in you. So I left you with that improvement in the future. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my evaluation to Toastmasters Shabrina. Congratulations once again, you passed the project. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Qaiyum. You are very interesting with the good song. I think you can to be a singer for the event, I think. And then thank you so much for your feedback and evaluator for Toastmaster Shabrina. So let's move on to the second evaluator. This is I will call Toastmaster. Sorry. I will call Toastmaster Reza. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Andhyka with perfect imperfection. Hello, Toastmaster Reza. Are you there?
I am here. Am I audible?
Yes, please report about your evaluation for Toastmaster Andhyka. The screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam G. Hello, Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you hate being an evaluator, evaluating a speech that you forgot to evaluate? I mean, that is the kind of Toastmaster Andhykas as most amazing speakers in SCBD will always do towards me when they ask me to be their evaluators. They deliver the projects and then I immerse in their story and I forget that I have to deliver the evaluation later on. So thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Andhyka. Just like his title, ladies and gentlemen, my evaluation is hopefully going to be also perfectly imperfect because I celebrate the flaw of being an evaluator. So the way I'm going to evaluate my evaluation is structured into two parts. The first one is what I do think is astonishing from Toastmaster Andhyka's performance. And then the second, just a couple of minor suggestions how to make it even more astonishing in the future. Moving on to the first part, what's already astonishing from Toastmaster Andhyka's performance, I have two layers. First of all, the posture. Now, we get it. Toastmaster Andhyka did stand up. There's nothing special about that. But if you look closely in the story that he told about being a parent, about having a stand, about making sure he's a great exemplary for his child, that gives a message how even in his posture, he looks so much with integrity. He looks so much filled with hopeful. He looks so much feel that too perfect, if I might add, because that's how he stands. But in a way, when he reveals later on that he admits and embraces the imperfection, that postures also changes and shifted. So that's how I think that posture, as much as it's often overlooked, is also something that we need to celebrate when we want to pick our story. The second thing that I love, and I find it astonishing, is how he admitted the changes of the value that he had. Fellow Toastmasters, notice how Toastmaster Andhyka tries to capture the idea of being a perfect parent by teaching perfect values of punctuality, of kindness. That's pretty much very self-explanatory, but ended up realizing that in order to be a good parent, what he needed to be is having flaws, because that is what parenthood is all about. And I think the shifting value is something that we also often overlook in storytelling, and how that could also be a unique point of giving a moral message. But amidst all of those amazing points, how do we make it even more astonishing in the future? I have 2 points here. Number one, because Toastmaster Andhyka's pathways engaging humor like what I did, not that I say that Toastmaster Andhyka did not have any humor. In fact, he had a lot of twists, but I feel that in comedy or humor writing, we needed to have victim. And I feel that Toastmaster Andhyka did not exploit himself being victim enough. I know I'm over time, but I'm just too excited to evaluate Toastmaster Andhyka, so it's okay not to vote me, fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to enjoy my time here. So, so yeah, I wish that he could have been more victimized when, for example, his child telling him that, I told you there's no school, and I wish that he could express a little different part of him than being such a responsible parent, for example. Admitting a kid is right is something that could really be a comedic moment. I would like to see that. Second thing, strengthen his message repeatedly. If you notice, a lot of Toastmasters champions in YouTube, I think the most recent winner, forgot her name, but his message was very simple, asking something, have you been there? And that message is strengthened and repeatedly so many times, 1, 2, even 3 times. And by the end of the speech and the performance, we question ourselves, have we been there? And we position ourselves towards the writer's or the speaker's perspective. Now, the idea of perfect imperfection is very great. And I feel that it's not repeated as often as I hoped it would be, because by the end of the performance, I wish that I could contemplate a lot about being perfectly imperfect. But overall, it was an enjoyable performance. I really hated the fact that it took me like 15 minutes to write this evaluation. Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Andhyka. To conclude, 2 things that we find it astonishing: mind-bending moral value, thematic posture, and the 2 things that could make it more even astonishing in the future: exploit yourself in the humor, in the comedic moment. And then second, strengthen your message repeatedly. I would like to give the control back to Madam GE. Sorry for the overtime.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Reza for your evaluator. It's okay to be over time, but you make us get the insight about how to improve for Toastmaster Andhyka in the next project. And then so let's move on to the next evaluation. This is for the panel discussion, how using Toastmaster leadership in work setting. Toastmaster Hanny, it will be evaluated by DTM Gatot. Hello, DTM Gatot.
Hello, DTM Dede.
Yes, yes, I'm good. How about you?
I'm good.
Okay, so can we start for evaluation for evaluator Toastmaster Hanny?
Yes, but before that, I seconded the previous evaluator, Toastmaster Reza Mardian. I believe that I will be over time, but I'm not going to give a damn with the time, because I really want to give the high quality of evaluation tonight.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, the screen is yours. Please give us your evaluation.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So everyone, give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Hanny. First thing that I really appreciate about her is she's taking up this challenge to have this panel discussion with those 3 prominent person in Toastmasters. I know it's not easy. It's really hard to gather them on the same panel, but you did it. Congratulations. What I like from your panel discussion is the opening. You started by giving a brief explanation about the topic, what Toastmaster is all about, and then connected with your topic in the panel discussion. This is really good because it helps your audience to have the same understanding about what are you going to talk. Even if you put the title of the topic of the discussion on the flyers already, but still having or giving that brief explanation will help them getting into the same page. That is really good, and I like it so much. And the second one, you also give very good question to all the panelists. What I've learned from you is that you prepare it very well. I can see that you've seen on your screen to make sure that the question is correct, which question that you are going to give to which panelist. That is very good, Toastmaster Hanny. I appreciate it so much. And there are some things that I believe is going to help you to improve your your ability to lead a panel discussion in the future. The first one is smile. Hanny, because I can see that you look a bit nervous and a bit stressful since your face on the screen, and it makes your audience can catch that how stressful you are. Try to be more relaxed and smile. I know, understanding that the panelist is prominent person in Toastmasters, but as far as I know, they are not eating human. They are not going to bite you. So just relax. And the second one, we've learned about how to use a vocal variety and also the facial expression. Use it. For example, when you introduce the panelists, let me share you how to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, we have a very wonderful panelist tonight. I know you've seen them around on the flyers, but do you really know them? Hold on. I call them one by one and tell you who they are. Okay, giving the facial expression will spice up your panel discussion. And the second one, I believe that you manage to have different questions to each panelist. Like you give questions about pathway to Hanny, about emotion leadership to Joe, and another kind of question to Alan. It would be better if you give the same question for 3 panelists so that we can have a richer perspective about one question. For example, when you ask about pathway, which pathway you think can help us to build up our leadership? Didi Hanny, and then Hanny giving her question, her answer, and then you give that the same question to the other panelists. So what do you think, DTM Alan? Do you have the same thought or you have any other perspective? You know, it will help us to have the broad perspective about one question. And the next one is try to give more challenging question to the panelists. Since we know that all of them are, I would say that big fishes in Toastmasters, they are so influential in terms of position and the way they lead, give more challenging question. You can ask about what I asked previously, how they manage the leadership they've learned in Toastmasters in the real life, something like that. So bring it into something more practical so your audience can learn more. It's not only about the theory, but how to put the theory into action. And the last one, you can make some variants in your question. If you see your panelists giving long answer, in the next question, you can just give a signal like, you know, DTM Alan, just one short sentence, answer my question. You know, you can help them to give a short but meaningful answer instead of making them talk that long. We know that Toastmasters love to talk. Just make sure that you can manage the time. So all in all, I really like your moderation tonight. You are so brave enough to taking up the challenge to invite those 3 prominent person Toastmasters. You open your discussion with a short explanation about Toastmasters and connect it with the topic thoroughly. And you also prepare the question very well. And by improving some points I've mentioned to you, play with your vocabulary, with your facial expression, and manage to have the same question to all panelists to enrich the perspectives and also to make sure that they can give an answer shorter than just giving the long answer. By improving those points, I believe that I look forward to see you to lead another panel discussion in the future. Over to you, GE.
Thank you so much for DTM Gatot for your evaluation. It's very long time, but I think it will be meaningful for Toastmaster Hanny for the improvement for the next projects, because I know this is challenges because she invite the amazing people in Toastmasters, especially in District 87. And then may I know about the timer for the evaluator Toastmasters sekarang? Please share us about the timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dede. For Toastmaster Qaiyum is 3 minutes 13 seconds, and Toastmaster Reza 4 minutes 52 seconds. For DTM Gatot is 5 minutes 55 seconds. So only Toastmaster Qaiyum is eligible to be voted. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Dede.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sekar, because the only one eligible for the vote is only Toastmaster Qaiyum. I think there is no ballot counter for the evaluator session. So we move on to the next agenda, which is about our evaluation from WOD report from Toastmaster Yvonne. Hello, Toastmaster Yvonne.
Hi, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, please share us about the report WOD counter. The screen is
Sure.
yours.
Sure. Allow me to show my screen to keep my report. Okay, give me 1 second. Can you guys see my sharing? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know how to move it. Sorry, it disappeared. Okay. So from this report, actually, first, I would like to congratulate one of the speaker, Qaiyum. Actually, he made so perfect evaluation, and without further words, evaluator Qaiyum give him a big applause. And the other point from my report, because I don't know how to make it to the first screen, I just scroll down to share with you. First, I would like to share, appreciate everyone use the word of the day. It's totally, according to my count, it's totally 18. Yeah, it's good. And the other point I would like to share, what is the most used, the filler word? From the report, we can see, I make a summary here. We can see the word is so. It's totally 32. I think I heard a DTM say the so actually the function is conjunction. But if we use at a sentence, at the beginning of the sentence, actually it's not good. So we have to pay attention to it. And I find a lot of people seem habit to use the so from the beginning of the sentence. And the other point I would like to share, actually, I think we are all have experience on making the filler word. I'm also still making the filler words. So I'm still learning you guys. And how to avoid it, I think the first, the most effective way is to use the pause to slow down your speech. And the other point, keep practicing in Toastmaster meeting. I heard someone say can make speech very good. I find that they use the pause. The pause is so important. So help us what and how long to pause what we deliver it. This is my opinions. Anyway, congratulations. All speakers make a very great job. Thank you. Back to our GE. Data.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Yvonne for your report. And I hope this report can make us better for the next meeting. We can minimize the the and so on for the next meeting. And then, so we move on to the next report for the grammarians. For this one, I will call Toastmaster Uyun. Hello, Toastmaster Uyun.
Hello, Toastmaster Dede, am I okay? I am visible. Okay, so let me screen my share.
Rivana
Sorry?
still spotlighted?
No spotlight is okay. I will share my screen, so I hope it's visible. All right. Thank you everyone for your speeches today. I did not find many grammatical errors, but I heard some grammatical errors that I thought when I observed the cause of this grammatical errors because the person did not continue from what she or he started. For example, it can be continued accordingly, right? But she or he changed the subject, and then so it is. Oh, we are doing this activity, so it caused a grammatical error. So what I would love to suggest to make a better use of grammar, finish the sentence from what you started. So for example, from it is, we are doing these activities, make it is, continue from that, it is an activity that we are doing. So hope it can be a tip for to fix your grammar use. And I also found notable words. The first word, it's feisty. So it means active, forceful, and full of determination. An example for that can be a feisty lady, or he launched a feisty attack on the government. And another word, it is astonishing. Astonishing. So it can mean very surprising or amazing, staggering, or stunning. The example for that can be her writing shows astonishing depth, or his facility for language is astonishing. So I hope we can find also another notable words in your next speeches. And for the beautiful quotes we heard from Toastmaster Shabrina, she took it from Cinderella, have a courage and be kind. And I also liked when she said that I am a corporate slave, just like a Cinderella. And she had a dream, everything's beautiful. It's all dream until ding dong, it's 9 a.m. on Monday. Why I like this? Because it reminds me of figure of speech in English, or in Indonesia we call it as majas. From what Toastmaster Shabrina mentioned here, she she made it similar to the circumstances of Cinderella, right? Cinderella was like a gorgeous lady until ding dong, it's 12 a.m. at the midnight, and then she changed. And Toastmaster Shabrina made it like that. So I'm not good at putting the name of the figure of speech, but I think that's similar or metaphor, maybe. What I would love to say here is that to beautify your language, you can implement this figure of speech. There are varieties of them. You can use pun, for example. I think it's familiar for you, or paradox, or personification. I hope you learned it in Bahasa Indonesia class, or even in English, and you can implement it in your next speeches. And another beautiful quote, we heard it from distinguished Toastmaster Hanny. She mentioned many beautiful quotes. These are what I could note. For example, a good leader can deliver bad news in a funny way. Where I also like this because it's also a kind of figure of speech, because it puts kind of not paradox, yeah, kind of something antonym, bad news, but in a funny way. And because it's a very different circumstances, it can make him or her a good leader. And distinguished Toastmaster Hanny also said, I do not separate Toastmasters leadership, but to implement them in daily basis. I think distinguished Toastmaster Alan also said that. And regarding leadership, distinguished Toastmaster Hanny said, just go through it. You are allowed to feel tired, but please never stop. Leadership is a journey. Just go through it. And next from distinguished Toastmaster Alan, we heard he said negotiation for a better outcome is to create a win-win solution for both parties. So what we can highlight here is for a better outcome. So it's not just a common negotiation, but it's negotiation for a better outcome. And for those who are in a leadership position right now, enjoy, just enjoy. Be at the moment, unless you will regret after you finish your term. You think, oh, I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. So enjoy. And last but not least, from this Toastmaster Joe, he said, I did not plan to be leader, it just happened, but I don't think it's not a coincidence, but everyone here has the path to be leader, so just grab the opportunity. And thank you, that's all from me. I'm looking forward to your next speeches. Thank you, back to you, Toastmaster Dede.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Uyun about your report for our grammarian. And then I think this is the part of me to evaluation for this meeting. And then please Toastmaster Sekar timer me when I evaluate for this meeting. Okay, happy morning, everyone. Let's give us a big round of applause for our meeting tonight for all of us. Yeah! I really love when Toastmaster Shabrina shared with us about about the leader. She is the calm leader, and I think she is the Cinderella, and then back to the reality as a leader in the work in the office. And then I really love with Toastmaster Andhyka with the message for perfect imperfection that mentioned children not looking for the perfect parents, but they're looking for the people who love them. And then for the next, I think about the evaluator. For the prepared speech, I really love with the everyone for the evaluator give the inspire and good feedback for the advantage, and then the suggestion for the next for the speaker that to be improvement in the next project. And maybe for the evaluator, I think when we want to introduce the speaker, I think we have to prepare first, so there is no delay when introduce the speaker. And then the timer for the evaluate the speaker, I hope it will be on time, but maybe you consider to give the best evaluator with the high quality, because this is Toastmaster. I think we believe we are concerned about the timer, but it's okay, special for you, DTM Gatot. And then it's really nice and like honored to be the general evaluator for tonight's meeting, because this is also we have the special panel discussion. The speaker most amazing people in Toastmaster. Toastmaster Hanny, congratulations, because you can invite the special people in Toastmaster, DTM Hanny, DTM Soharjo, and DTM Allen as our speaker for tonight, so we can get the get the knowledge from the best of the leader in Toastmaster. And I really love with DTM Soharjo that mentioned to us to delegating the tasks to the member as a leader, because the leader has to delegating the tasks
to manage the operation can running well. And I really love DTM Allen when he mentioned that we have to enjoy our journey and then think to time before say yes as a leader. And then for the DTM Hanny mentioned us to with the pathway we can utilizing and practicing the academic pathway in to become a good leader. And then I think I love also with the Toastmaster Melanie, our Toastmaster of the meeting, because she mentioned as always about WOD for tonight. And then for our general timer, Toastmaster Sekar, congratulations. This is your first time as a timer, and I love it because you can manage the timer as well. And for Toastmaster Helena also, the first timer in this meeting, congratulations, you good job because you can timer for the panel discussion. So the panel discussion can running at the schedule as well. And then thank you so much for our grammarian, Toastmaster Uyun. You mentioned about the keynote, it's every speaker, and then our AWOD Toastmaster Yvonne share with us about the result each person in the meeting. And then the last ballet counter, you share with us about the vote, and we can vote which one is best speaker. And I also love when Toastmaster Donna as a table topic session, she called the guests to join in the meeting to share their thoughts, so we can so the guests can feeling involved in the meeting. So but overall for the meeting is good and perfectly, and because the meeting I have some comments and improvement first, and I think it should be at the beginning. So for the team can know the grand total of the people to fulfill the form, because if we share in the middle or the last of the meeting, a lot of people live in the meeting. And then for the another session, I think as the general evaluator, I also have considered to make a good conclusion for the meeting. But yeah, it's my first time. I also has to improvement for the GE for more has to prepare the conclusion with the opening, main, and closing. And it's all for me. I think we can continue to Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Melanie.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dede. That was a nice evaluation. Now we'll proceed to call it day. Let's call on Toastmaster Leonie. Master Leonie, are you ready? Okay, the experience here.
All right, now we come to the most awaited time. Without further ado, let's start with our first most favorite prepared speech speaker. Let's give a drum roll, please. Okay, so most favorite prepared speech speaker for today is Toastmasters Andhyka.
Okay, take a picture for.
Okay, let's take a picture.
Wait the minute. I will take a picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3, cheers. Okay, thank you.
All right. Now for the next most favorite table topic speaker goes to Toastmasters Helena. Congratulations.
Wait, take a picture for Toastmaster Helena. Okay. Take a picture, please. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Cheers. Thank you. Back to Madam Millet.
All right, for the last award for the most favorite evaluator, I think we all know who it is. It's Toastmasters Qaiyum.
Congratulations, Mr. Qaiyum. Take a picture. Wait a minute. Mr. Qaiyum. Oh, I cannot spotlight him. Oh, already. Okay, take a picture. Say cheers. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Thank you. Back to Madam Alan.
All right, for the last Hall of Fame, I would like to give the spotlight to our VPM, Toastmaster Adrian. If you would like to join us or you would have any questions about this club, please contact our Vice President of Membership, Toastmasters Adrian. And that is all from me for tonight. See you guys next week. Back to you, Toastmasters of the meeting.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations to all our favorite speakers for the night. And I think for everyone to stay until this late evening, until 9 o'clock. So all of us are called to be leaders. All of us are actually leaders in our own little ways, in our personal life, workplace, and everywhere. Right? It's how we respond to this call, or if we really want to lead. We are called to lead, not just bragging about the possessions that we have, but by knowing and going and showing the way and influencing others. So thank you for all the role takers for tonight and all who joined us for this meeting. So I hope that we can see you by next meeting. So thank you, and I think the meeting is adjourned. No, for me. But I'll give the floor now to our co-president, Toastmaster N.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please give round of applause for Toastmaster Melanie to become our Toastmaster of the meeting, and all the meeting role takers. I would love to have you back, all of you, next week on Friday. But first of all, I would like to extend my gratitude for our past Division I Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gatot, and also our SCBD Club Toastmasters members and visiting Toastmasters, and also our distinguished guests. And I hope that we all learn and then we can enjoy the session. And with the power of my wallet, I adjourn this meeting. Please stay around if you want to have a chat, learning to network, or anything that you want to ask about Toastmasters or anything. Will be here. Please feel free, and thank you so much. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning. Happy morning.
Good morning.